Burke. Sydney is a national speaker, author, and pro-life advocate, passionate about using her healing from abortion experience to offer the same restoration and grace to women facing similar trauma. For over 24 years, she has led post-abortive healing programs for women through Hope Medical Clinic, where she currently serves as a volunteer, following time as a board member and the executive director. She is also a state coordinator for the Silent No More awareness campaign.
Hello, and thanks for having me here today. There was not a pregnancy resource center around when I was almost 19 years old, and so I chose to go to the health department. When I first heard that I was pregnant, I falsely believed that I needed to decide if I wanted to become a mother. You see, I didn't realize that I already was. I chose abortion because well-meaning loved ones encouraged it or offered no alternatives. I didn't think I would be able to finish college. I was ashamed of being pregnant, and I was terrified of being a single parent. It was so easy to believe the lies that what was would be removed was simply a piece of tissue, and that I could get on with my life, never looking back. I remember a 9-hour bus trip, going to the clinic and seeing the young man that took me there hand over the $200 at the front counter. I remember walking down a long hallway and going into a room, climbing up on the table, a man I'd never seen before walking in, and then excruciating pain. This was on a Friday morning. My memory returns Monday afternoon as I opened a letter from the clinic stating that all the tissue had successfully been removed. And I know now that that tissue included the fully formed hands and feet and the once beating heart of my first child, and how I wish I had fought for them. The next year was a steady blur of greatly increased drug and alcohol use. And then I met the man of my dreams and thought my torment was over. Gave up the drugs and alcohol, but that was quickly replaced with another 16 years of nightmares, flashbacks, anxiety attacks. I couldn't bond with my future children, nor trust my parenting decisions, because after all, look how I had done with my very first. And it probably won't be a surprise to you to hear that my marriage was quickly falling apart. So ironically, I was on the fast track to being a single parent after all. Now there is good news, and this is the part that I love to share. A woman stood up at church and shared that she had suffered with many after abortion side effects until she went through a healing program put on by our local pregnancy resource center. I started that 12-week program, certain that I would never amount to anything more than the woman at the well. And I finished it, absolutely certain that I am a beloved daughter of an almighty king. But now, no longer shackled by the burden of needing to abuse myself with that quiet voice loud in my head. I was no longer shackled by that, but I had a new burden, and that was to reach out to the 43% of women my age who've had one or more abortions. Oh, and guess what? There's men involved too. They hurt too. So now I was burdened to reach out to them. I call them the walking wounded, and help them, give them hope that they too can walk out of that self-imposed prison of shame. So I started as a volunteer for the Pregnancy Resource Center, started leading the after-abortion studies, ended up on the board, and then I must have missed a meeting because next thing I knew I was the executive director. Truth is, I did apply for it and interview. But it was interesting. I mean, I'd been as a volunteer for many, many years and been in the office while they were open. But being there daily and experiencing that, my job was to take us from a traditional pregnancy center to one providing ultrasounds. So we changed our name to Hope Medical Clinic. And to be there daily and listen to the staff who may have just finished up in the ultrasound room, realizing that they and the mother and the ultrasound technician may be the only ones who ever see that baby, with the exception of those that are set out to kill them. So there's a lot of emotional turmoil that comes with that too. So I have two questions for you. Do you believe that life begins at conception?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that every one of those preborn children is a brother and sister of us?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you, what are you doing about it? Right? So there's at least 40 pregnancy resource centers in Oregon. And I can guarantee you that they all need volunteers, donors, and most importantly, your prayers. We should celebrate Roe v. Wade being overturned, but our pro-life work is not finished. In fact, in several states, unfortunately, Oregon being one of them, our work is actually ramping up. There's easier access to the abortion pill. There's corporations that are sending their female pregnant employees on abortion vacations so that they can get back to work right away. And did you know that Ontario is looking at a Planned Parenthood going in right on the border between Oregon and Washington? So chemical abortion is better, in my opinion, than surgical abortion, and here's why. Surgical abortion, one and done, it's over with. Chemical abortion, there is a chance that child could be saved. So if there's anything you remember today from me, it's Abortion Pill Reversal Network. It's a website where they can go and be put in touch with pro-life medical professionals. I wrote a book about a pregnant, homeless, mentally ill woman being coerced by 2 government agencies. That's the true part. The backstory is true. Got some copies at a table back there. Love to put one in your hand. Love to speak at pro-life events. Check out cindybrunk.com to learn more. I hope you enjoy putting your faith into action during the march today. And I want to close again with, do you believe that life begins at conception?
Yes.
Okay, so ask yourself while you're walking, what are you going to do about it? Thank you.